And welcome back to Lantern Corp from Luke Morehouse. We have one. What is the Nostalgia Critics Lantern Corps? What Lantern Corps does Nostalgia Critic belong in? I've watched Nostalgia Critic for years, like pretty much since Doug started doing it. I still watch him weekly. Like every time he does a new video, I still watch him. And occasionally I rewatch his old stuff. Love Doug Walker content. I'm not going to address any of the Plant Channel Awesome stuff that happened in the past. Like, if you don't watch him anymore, don't like him anymore, that's your choice. I still enjoy him. By the way, I'm not ever expecting Doug to see this, but if you do, hey, Doug, big fan. So here's my thoughts for you, Doug. By the way, and I will be referring to the Nostalgia Critic character he plays, not Doug Walker himself. Now that being said, the Nostalgia Critic is weird. Not that, I mean, he is weird, but for a Lantern Corps, he's weird because another character who, at some point in his history, his character's arc, could qualify for just about any one of these. Save for, I think, Gold, because Gold is not Gold's just not something I think can work for a Nostalgia Critic. He has not been perpetually happy his whole life. By the way, real quick, someone said that there's a silver and a bronze Lantern Corps. I looked into that. As far as I can tell, those Lantern Corps are not canon. I cannot find anything referencing them besides some, like, hold on, Silver Lantern Corps. Okay, Silver Lantern Corps. Let me see here. I'm going to just relook real quick. Okay, from the Green Lantern fandom, that's questionable. These might not actually exist. The Silver Lantern Corps is one of the several Lantern Corps of the entire universe and have been unknowingly the oldest Lantern Corps in all of existence. They are based on the emotion of patience. The Silver Lanterns are reportedly the strongest beings in existence. It can even change reality if they have to. Any Lantern actually is theoretically capable of doing that. Origin is the Silver Lantern that existed many years back. Crisis Infinite Earth. The Silver Lantern cards are in a different dimension known as Z. So War of the Green. There are some so allegedly there is something about the Silver Lanterns involved in the series, but for the time being, I'm not going to include them because, quite frankly, that's the only. And here's the thing. Here's another. If you look into other Lantern Corps, some say they are the Lantern Corps of Madness, or they're like, what are the Silver Lanterns? Some say they're the Lanterns of Madness. So I went to images. I couldn't find anything that actually shows off these lanterns very much. Like I can find stuff on DeviantArt, I can find stuff on Pinterest, but I don't believe the Pinterest is a real. The Pinterest image I'm finding here is a real image. There is just nothing on these characters. Like image-wise, if they actually were in the comics and actually had presence in the comics, then there should be some. I've got 5 different lantern symbols here, and they're all different. So, and I'm really not trying to like get on your case, dude, for bringing that up. I just think maybe there was some misinformation there. Yeah, as far as I can tell, there isn't actually a silver or a bronze Lantern Corps. Now, that being said, because allegedly the patience and logic were the two emotional traits for those two. Logic is certainly not an emotion. Will's not even an emotion, but whatever. Patience, though, well, not an emotion. I could actually see that one working for a Lantern Corps. But yeah, unless something happens, they are not Lantern Corps. Those are not lanterns I will be using in the future. Now, that being said, like I said, Nostalgia Critic at any given point in time has qualified for nearly every one of these rings. He is qualified for sorrow, as he has been completely depressed at points. For instance, the My Pet Monster scenario there. Mati dying, those scenarios could put in there. Ultraviolet, the Nostalgia Critic has carried a lot of shame over the years. Again, Mati, but also a lot of shame with how certain incidents have gone down with, Tamara or Malcolm and certain different storylines, Rachel, all that. In fact, thinking back on it now, I might consider that for his, at least a honorable mention core. In fact, I'm not going to put the symbol here, but I will say that's his third most likely. White, not really. He has killed quite a few people before. That being said, he's also saved the entirety of creation from the plot holes. So yeah, that in theory could work, but he's still killed more people since then, so I don't think so. That being said, he's also not that good as a Black Lantern, because the Nostalgia Critic actually hasn't truly ever died before. Yeah, he's been hurt. Yeah, it looks like he's killed, but he always comes back. So, and he's even said during, what was it, the Christmas, when he reviewed a Ninja Turtle Christmas, it's like, you destroy the world. Don't worry, I won't make it canon. Like, he has control, essentially, over his entire world. But because of that, he has gone off the rails occasionally. That said, however, the remaining 7 main Lantern Corps are all up for grabs, I think. There have definitely been points where he is the one hope that everyone has, where they actually have to put their faith in him and feel bad for doing it because they know he's probably going to screw it up, probably. But other times he's got to put his faith in someone else. So hope is at least at points, sure. He's also definitely been someone that's scared people before. Not that I think he really qualifies as a Lantern of Fear, but there have certainly been instances where he's been scary enough to be a Fear Lantern, at least in moments. Likewise with Rage. Now, Rage, keep in mind, whatever the Lantern Corps you qualify for is, it needs to be your dominant core. It needs to be your dominant emotional trait. Nostalgia Critic is not constantly angry. And when I mean angry, I mean seeking revenge, justice, all that. You need to be that type of angry to qualify for a Red Lantern ring. Now, with that being said, there are many moments throughout the history of his show where he could have been a Red Lantern in that moment. The infamous Just Explain, blowing up his house twice, nuking it with Quest for Camelot. It's amazing I can actually remember the episodes too. That's because these are years ago now. So there have been times that Nostalgia Critic certainly could have been a Red Lantern. Just it's not something that's consistent with him. Also, Love. That one, I'll admit, is probably the least likely of the original 7. It simply just comes down to the fact that, does he do what he does out of love? For himself, maybe. He is a little self-absorbed. Just a little bit. He's a little self-absorbed. So, I mean, that's at least a loophole reason for how he could be a Star Sapphire. Compassion, he has grown more compassionate over the years. Now, admittedly, that might be just because Doug's gotten older and doesn't have the energy he used to. Plus, he's had that bout with shingles that he did, and COVID a couple times. So he does still get hit with fatigue every once in a while. He even says that and updates that when he does like reviews and stuff like that. But that being said, the character itself has grown more compassionate over the years, having his group of friends, Hyper Fangirl, Double Boner, Benny. Oh no, sorry, that's Bill. Benny. I know there is a Benny. I'm trying to remember who the Benny is. Satan. He's got his friends there, so he's definitely developed a lot more compassion. But the two that I still think make the most sense are, one, boring answer, Green. Now, of the two, this is actually the less likely, because even though you need to be able to overcome great fear, which the Critic has done on multiple occasions and have great willpower, he's also kind of a coward. Like, if the Critic can avoid getting into an altercation he does not want to be in, he certainly will. And so while Green might not seem like the best choice, it's still, I think, the strongest among the others. Although, now looking back, maybe something like, I don't know, maybe Fear or Rage hypothetically could work, but I would still probably lean more towards Will. But I don't think anyone should be shocked by this. I think let me try that one more time. I think the Nostalgia Critics strongest Lantern Corps is greed. There is literally a Christmas special he did way back when, where it's you're a greedy bastard nostalgia critic, where he allegedly quit being a nostalgia critic, put out an ad, and then put the ad out, and then, hey, anything on that ad yet? Oh no, I guess I should give it a yeah, okay. Like the dude is like just that. The nostalgia critic does what he does for the money, like for the ching ching, if you will, for the bling bling and the ching ching. And he doesn't really care what he has to do to get what he wants most of the time. Whether it involves hurting his crew or just making someone else's day more miserable. He does it all for the money. Now that being said, obviously again, we're talking about nostalgia critic, not Doug himself. But yeah, if we're gonna be honest, it's the Lantern Corps of greed. I think that fits nostalgia critic the best. Now, that picture may give you the idea of anger. And certainly there have been more the back credit card moment. Like I said, the quest for Camelot, blowing up his house moments. Most of the specials he did, like Kick-Assia, Suburban Nights, To Boldly Flee, all that, like they've all got great rage moments in them. And again, those are just the ones I can think of right off the top of my head. And Pearl Harbor. Oh man, he went off in the Pearl Harbor review on Michael Bay. Holy crap. And then what was it? The House on Haunted. Was it The Haunting? I think it's The Haunting, not House on Haunted Hill, if I'm not mistaken. The one with Liam Neeson, Owen Wilson, Catherine Zeta-Jones. I think that was it. Yeah, he also went off in that one too. So he's definitely got a lot of moments of being a Lantern of rage. It's just not something that's consistent with his. Not consistent. It's not something that carries through review to review to review. Now, again, to be fair, Doug's playing a character, and like almost every review, he's always just like, "Hey, I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember it, so you don't have to." But every once in a while, when he starts a review, he's either just like he's really angry, or just like, "Oh God." So there's not enough consistency with the anger, like follow through to the next, where he just carries that with him for like a couple episodes, that I could actually see him being a Lantern of Rage. But in key moments throughout his career, oh, absolutely, he's a Rage Lantern. Either way, though, that's my opinion. What do you think? What do you think is the true Lantern Corps of the nostalgia critic? Personally, I boringly go with orange. I might switch up my answer and follow it up with red, just because there's been plenty of moments where he's been angry enough to be a Red Lantern. But I didn't say green probably follows in suit after that. And then pick your poison of what he could be after that. There's certainly some arguments to be made for things like shame with the ultraviolets, for fear based on some of the things he's done. Even black maybe has some arguments you can make for it. Either way, that's my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time.